Happy Monday, everyone. Today is November the 3rd, so I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with data points, we do have S&P Global Manufacturing and ISM Manufacturing at 945 and 10. In both cases, anything above 50 shows more of a continued expansion. Anything below 50 shows more of a contraction. And so the ISM Manufacturing is a little bit more broad. You can kind of see that this has been somewhat all over the place, but at least the last couple of reports have been moving in the right direction. So the market's going to be really looking at that. We do have a couple of Fed speakers as well. One thing that came out over the weekend, I think on Sunday morning, was this. So Trump saying that there was a deal done with China. It goes over a lot of Chinese actions as well as American actions. Oddly enough, you don't see the futures really moving up as much as I would have anticipated. The reason being is that there's an increase in kind of geopolitical issues between Taiwan and China. So that's not necessarily the best. Plus, on Sunday, you did have a lot of kind of analysts come out saying that because of the government shutdown, things are going to be kind of having a pinch, and GDP potentially is going to be kind of significantly impacted more than what was previously thought, because I guess the current estimates now for the government shutdown is that it's going to be extended to kind of Black Friday. So that would be rather crazy, but Dow is down 0.09. S&P, it is up 0.29, NASDAQ up 0.66. One thing to take note of, though, is fear and greed index did move to the neutral category, so in theory, people's appetite for risk is kind of on the table. Getting right to it, SOFI is up slightly, just largely piggybacking off the broader market. Nothing too crazy over the weekend coming out. Right now, 8.45% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 100 million shares overall being shorted. Right now, with that 29.73, it is right below this R1, so 29.76 is going to be that key pivot you ideally want to watch for SOFI to kind of get above. And one thing as well that I do feel could be potentially happening once the market does open is a extreme move. And I've seen this type of action. So on my Patreon, I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, but I also do analyze trends. And one thing I have noticed is that we've actually been getting kind of less and less volume during the pre-markets. So I think now what big money has been really transitioning to for a strategy is waiting for the market to truly open. Then they buy calls or puts. Then they let algorithmic trading either move the stock market higher or lower. That way their puts or calls, depending on what they bought, they can appreciate. So I do feel like that is going to happen because logically, as I mentioned, I would have anticipated that the market would have been a lot more green than what it currently is because of the whole China states deal. So possibly we might be seeing a very nice push higher once the market does open, but there's a lot of fear in the broader market as well at the same time. So we'll just have to wait and see how that does play out. But SOFI is kind of just in SOFI's case, I went on a little bit more of a tangent, my apologies, but 29.76, that's kind of what you really want to watch for SOFI. And then aside from that, 30.58 being the next strong target. NIO is up 1.24%, and so I did buy more in NIO during the overnight trading at exactly 7.25, and I loved their numbers that did come out and a lot of the recent updates. So I do feel that once the market does open, NIO is actually a very good example of that strategy that does happen. So normally big money is kind of hesitant, then they just buy a lot of calls and then they let their price run up. So in my opinion, based on the monthly numbers that did come out, that we're going to be seeing a little bit more of an additional push. Even shorts right now during the pre-market are returning about 58,000 shares. 10.41% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 144.09 million shares overall being shorted. Right now with that 733, it is trading above all the key fib levels on the 4 hour, so things are looking pretty good. So for today, you have that 783 and then $7. This is on the 1 day chart. And a side note, so 783 and $7 as support and resistance points. Moving on, ticker CIFR, they did put out their earnings, getting a lot of volume. I believe this is the second most heavily traded stock out there. It's been doing pretty good actually even aside from their earnings over the last 6 months at 554%. So this one will be a hot one, and is a hot one right now. It's oddly enough, interestingly, heavily shorted. So 19.9% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 64.02 million shares overall being shorted. And shorts recently did double down, went from around 15.9% to a peak of 21.04%, and that was between September the 25th and October the 9th. So shorts are very active with this stock. So most likely what you are going to see is shorts try to really slow the progress of this stock. So once the market does open, you'll see probably shorts throwing everything that they can at the stock in an attempt to really slow it down. Most likely that won't really work based on just, I think, their earnings that they did put out. But nonetheless, with it right now at 21.66, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So 21.17 and 22.57 is the next strong target / resistance points. So feel free to pause this and kind of look through it. In my opinion, I do feel realistically even that R3 could be on this on the table. So 24.85. Aside from all that though, moving on, CRBU, so Caribou Biosciences, it is up 31.82% because of this news. As I always openly explain, I'm not a big fan of biotechs, goes way over my head. So feel free to pause it and go through this if this is your thing, but this is ultimately the reason why it is moving higher. So market does generally like it. 4.09% of the free float's being shorted, works to be 3.44 million shares. Shorts have really returned a lot. So it was about 18.63%, and then it did have a low of 2.6. So something really happened operationally, which helped kind of the stock price really push higher. But definitely shorts, I don't see them being that big of a deal for today. With it right now at 318, it is above all the key fib levels. So looking at the classic, 369 and then 317 followed by 283 is going to be the next strong support and resistance points. So this one will be a very good one to day trade, and actually so will this one right over here, CIFR. So both will be pretty good day trades. And then moving on, this one's a very unique one. This also will be a hit for day trades, ticker CURR. So this one, it does look like that they jumped 30% on reverse merger with NIO, if I'm saying that right, brands. So that's the reason why they technically are moving higher. So a proposed reverse merger, and ultimately it's not heavily shorted. So 0.28% of the free float's being shorted. So that's not going to be a big deal. With it right now at 414, it is above all the key fib levels. And so this one will be a pretty good day trade, but you just have to watch for kind of the hold numbers to be support and resistance points. So you can kind of see it did have a high of 696. So today's going to be a fairly volatile one. So add this one to your watch list. I don't believe that this stock does have options, so it is going to be a pure play. So you might see shorts a little bit of a battle, possibly they might be coming out of the woodwork, but this one will be a hot one to definitely add to your watch list. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.